Hey guys, it's Christina and welcome back to another English lesson. Today we're going to talk about improving your listening comprehension so that you can understand native speakers so much better when they speak. Now, I remember when I was learning Spanish, although I still am learning Spanish, but when I was more of an intermediate speaker or pre-intermediate speaker, it was so difficult for me to understand native speakers, especially when I got used to one native speaker's style and then I had to start listening to people from a different region or a different country and get used to their style. Okay, so this is something that I know a lot about. Anybody who has learned another language knows a lot about. Okay, so I want to share some tips with you. We've got 9 tips today that we're going to talk about, and I want to share them with you right now. Some of these are going to be parts of the accent that you can study, and other parts of these are going to be techniques that you can use in your daily English practice. Okay, so number 1 is understanding and learning about connected speech. Okay, this is called linking. What native English speakers do, and some speakers of other languages, is we link our words together. We connect our words. Okay, I want you to think of a chain. Think of a chain link fence, how they're linked together like this, right? They're connected, okay? I want you to think about speech the same way. Okay, now some speakers of other languages have more difficulty with this than others because some languages, other languages besides English, also use connected speech. All right, but the important part is to know how native speakers connect their speech and what exactly you can do to connect your own speech. And when you connect your own speech, then your brain will begin to recognize those sounds together. So when you hear native speakers using it, saying it, all of those things, then it will be so much better. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is to study reductions. Okay, so reductions can mean all kinds of things. Maybe when we reduce something, we are making the sound of a certain letter silent, okay, like the H, sometimes we do that. Or maybe we are taking a vowel sound and turning it into a schwa sound. We also do that. Or maybe we are not enunciating a syllable or a word as clearly as another syllable or word, okay? We do all of these things so frequently. All right, so when somebody says to you, this is for you, this is for you, this is for you. And notice how I didn't say for, I said for. Okay, this is a classic example of something that you want to study to help your listening comprehension, because when we speak quickly, we reduce things all the time, and it can get very confusing if you don't understand those points. All right, the next one, number 3, is going to be paying attention to the stress. Okay, now when I say stress, I mean the sentence stress or the syllable stress. When we stress a word, this means that we are placing more emphasis on this word. Okay, usually we stress content words the most, but depending on the situation, there are always exceptions. All right, so if we're stressing a word, then those are the words you want to listen for, because even if you don't understand the reductions, even if you don't understand the linking, then you still should be able to understand the content words. And so without all the other little smaller words around the content words, you can still kind of get a pretty good idea of what the speaker is saying, okay? Because you can interpret the rest, all right? So definitely study sentence stress, all right? And pay attention to that. Pay attention to all of these things. The next point on the list, thought groups. So thought groups are specific groups of words that we just group together. We tend to group them together as this little mini focus group, and then we blend those words together. We link them together, we reduce them, all of those things. All right, so thought groups are definitely important. The next point is going to be formal versus informal English, because we speak very differently in a formal situation versus an informal situation. Point number 6 is to have a positive attitude. I know it's not groundbreaking information. Oh, gee, thanks, Christina, for that information. Be positive. I hear that all the time. I understand. But I can tell you guys from experience, it really makes a huge, huge difference. Okay? If you are positive and if you have confidence in your own abilities, then you are going to make it happen. Maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time, maybe not the third time, but you will make it happen. Okay? It requires a lot of practice, all right? And you have to believe in yourself, believe in your abilities, that with enough practice that you will get it. Otherwise, I have been there, I have done that, and you know what happens if you don't believe in yourself or you let yourself get so frustrated, then you create this mental block or this wall where you just don't hear anything, even if you're trying. Okay, so don't get to that point. I really don't want you to do that. Okay, I promise you that with enough practice and the right attitude, you will be able to understand native speakers much better. Okay, so that's the first point for techniques. That's our 6th tip. Our 7th tip is very helpful and something that I used all the time when I was learning Spanish, which is listen, read, and imitate. Okay, so let's take an example. If you're listening to a video and you put the subtitles on, obviously you are listening. Put the subtitles on and then you're reading at the same time. Okay, so your brain is connecting those sounds to the specific words. All right, then what you want to do after that is pause the video every certain period of time, okay, whatever works for you, and repeat and imitate what the speaker says. Hopefully you're imitating a native speaker so that you can imitate the native accent, all right, and that you're hearing the native English speaking sounds. But that's the main idea. You want to be able to listen, read, and imitate constantly. Now, obviously, this is going to take a little bit of time, so hopefully you have some videos that are kind of fun to watch and that you enjoy imitating. Okay, you can imitate all kinds of different people. You can imitate people on TV. You can imitate people in different videos, whatever video you're watching, or in the movies. You can act. You can be different characters. All right, have fun with it. Listen to a wide variety of native speakers. Why do you want to do this? Because if you do, then you will be exposed to all different kinds of sounds that still pertain to the same word, okay, or the same sentence or the same expression. All right, for example, in the United States, people from the North and the South speak very differently. People from the Midwest and from the Southwest speak very differently. Okay, people who live close to Canada have more of a Canadian accent versus people who live in South Carolina. They're going to have a very Southern accent, okay, and use words that people in the North don't use as much, like the word y'all for you all, okay? And not only that, speaking of y'all, people in different parts of the country or in different countries, if you're talking about the United States, Canada, England, Australia, etc., people in different parts also use different words to mean the same thing, okay? So for example, the United States, in the South, people say y'all, all right? Now, in the North, people would probably say you all or you guys, okay? So it just depends. So that way you can get used to hearing the different accents, the different sounds, and your brain can start picking up on those sounds and registering it and saying, okay, I get it, I understand, I know exactly what that means. All right, you guys, so those are my 9 tips to help you improve your listening comprehension. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, then please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And if there is another technique on here that you do frequently that helps you but was not mentioned in this video, then please leave your comments below. I would love to hear them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.